Welcome back to one of the Bears Papa Plays YouTube channel. Today is Monday, September 30th. We've got some Monday Night Football to talk about. There's two games tonight, but we're going to be looking at the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Detroit Lions as the play. The game pick, my two best player props for the night, both games included. Three total plays for Monday. Hope everybody enjoys their Monday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, here's the recap from Sunday afternoon. Pretty good day here. Tampa, Commanders, and Panthers all on the money line, I said, for the frisky play, and the Panthers let us down. But Tampa Bay gets it done, wins outright against the Eagles. Bears, -2.5 against the Rams. They get it done as well. Pretty sloppy in the first half, but they looked a lot better in the second half. Commanders absolutely dominate. The Cardinals, they might be the best team in the NFC East. I think they might be even a top 10 team in the NFL. Panthers, +4.5. Had a chance of the backdoor cover. Andy Dalton, not as good this week going up against his former team. Baltimore -2.5. And recording at the half, they are dominating 21-3. Could very easily be 28-3 in favor of Baltimore, but Lamar Jackson just fumbled before the half. Aaron Jones, over 59.5 rushing yards, dominated the Packers. I think he had 80+ on the ground. Deontay Johnson, good day in the air, over 62.5 receiving yards against the Bengals, finished with 80+ something. And then a Kyler Murray. I thought we were going to sweep player props. First drive touchdown for Kyler Murray to Harrison Jr. And then after that, Commanders shut them down. So 2 on the player props, 3-1 on the game pick so far, looking like a 4-1 day. Here's the updated leaderboard for right now. 3-1 game picks, 2-1 player props, 5-2 day, looking to be a 6-2 day with that Ravens pick. So pretty good. Let's try to keep the ball rolling into Monday. We're going to be looking at the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Lions. The Seahawks are coming into this game undefeated, but they're going to be on the road in this one going up against a hungry Lions team. It feels like the Lions haven't got out to their best start, even though they are 2-1. They beat the Rams in overtime in week number 1. They lost in week number 2 to Tampa, and then they squeaked by against Arizona last week. We haven't been able to see this offense produce a lot of points like we've been used to seeing. I think this game has potential to be a shootout, but I'm going to take the Lions here, -3.5. I don't even know if the Seahawks are a good team yet this year. The Seahawks, they beat the Broncos by 6. They beat the Patriots by 3. Then they beat the Dolphins last week by 21 points. But that's not a good Dolphins team. They're an absolute dumpster fire with Skylar Thompson as their quarterback. I'm glad Miami finally is going to go to Tyler Huntley tonight on Monday night. Took him getting hurt for them to realize that he was the worst of the two quarterbacks they have left on the bench. But I don't know if the Seahawks are good. This is going to be their first real test of the season. It's going to be on the road going up against a very good Lions team. The Lions defensively have actually been getting the job done for them more than the offense recently, at least in their first 3 games, only giving up 13 to Arizona, 20 to Tampa Bay, then 20 in the opening game to the Rams. I still think Arizona's a pretty good team despite what Washington did to them on Sunday, and I know Tampa Bay is a good team. The Rams are also very frisky. So the Lions, they've played 3 pretty good teams this year. Seattle, they've probably played the 3 worst teams in the NFL with Tua's injury. I will give them credit for winning those games. I don't think you should apologize for starting your year 3-0, but I really think this Lions team's a lot better than Seattle. I do think we're going to see some explosiveness in this game out of Jared Goff, finally having his best game of the season. They've been okay with him behind center, but we're used to this Lions team putting up a lot of points. They just haven't played up to what I thought they would be this season. It is a really good spot for them at home going up against a team who hasn't been tested defensively. I'm not sure what the availability is for Walker, the running back, either for Seattle. He's coming into this game questionable. That could really hurt Seattle's chances. The Lions are also 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 home games as the favorites, and Jared Goff indoors 26-9 against the spread over the last 35 games for him. I think we see both running backs get going early in this game, then some play action later in the game with Brown and Williams down the field. I'm going to take the Lions here big. Final score, 34-20 in favor of Detroit. Let's go over to the best player props of the day. For the first play, we're looking at Jameson Williams of the Detroit Lions to go over 43.5 receiving yards against the Seahawks. Again, the Seahawks defense, they've been good so far, but they've gone up against Jacoby Brissett, Skylar Thompson, and Bo Nix as their 3 quarterbacks that they faced off in weeks 1, 2, and 3. The jury is still out for Bo Nix. Well, we know everything we need to know about Jacoby Brissett and Skylar Thompson. Those guys aren't very good. I don't think Bo Nix is very good either, but he is a rookie. They haven't faced off against a top 20 quarterback, let alone a top 10 quarterback. And I think Jared Goff is in that category of a top 10 quarterback. I think this defense is in for a rude awakening because the Lions, like I said in the breakdown, they're going to be able to establish the run early in this game, and they're going to open up the play action with Jared Goff. Williams last week didn't have a lot going for him, but in the first 2 games for the Lions, he was used a lot. He was their big play guy down the field. You see the stats in the bottom right-hand corner for the Seahawks the first 3 weeks. I think those numbers are skewed with what they've been playing over the first 3 games. I do think Jameson Williams is going to have a lot of room to operate down the field once the Lions get that run game going. I like the speedy wide receiver here, over 43.5 receiving yards as the first play. For the next play, we're looking at the Tennessee Titans going up against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take Tony Pollard, the former Dallas Cowboy running back, over 51.5 rushing yards going up against the Dolphins. The Dolphins have been pretty good defensively in the secondary this season, only giving up 182.7 yards per game. They've gone up against Josh Allen, Geno Smith, and Trevor Lawrence over the first 3 games. So I do think that secondary is pretty good, even though Trevor Lawrence is so-so this season, hasn't looked very good. But I guess he's labeled a top 15 quarterback for now. We know how funny Will Levis is whenever he has the ball in his hands. There's always an opportunity for a wild play, a good play, or a bad play. Mostly bad, though, for this Tennessee Titans team. They've started their season off 0-3, and I think the best way for them to get a win on the board in this game is just to give the ball to Tony Pollard every single play, take the ball out of Will Levis's hands. Last week, the Titans, there was no chance in that game. They went down early to the Packers. They had no run game whatsoever. We only saw Pollard have 6 attempts for 14 yards. I do think this is going to be a closer game. It should be a low-scoring game as well, with Tua being out and the Titans being horrible offensively. We're going to see Tyler Huntley for the Dolphins. Not entirely sure how good he's going to be, but he was a Pro Bowl quarterback. Everybody forgets about that. Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowl quarterback for the Ravens. He's going to get the start for Miami, but I think we're going to see the Titans establish a run game in this one. Stop letting Will Levis turn the ball over every single play. First 2 weeks for Tony Pollard, 16 carries in week 1, 82 yards against that Bears defense. 17 carries in week 2, 62 yards against the Jets defense. So we know Tennessee can run the ball. I'll take TP here, over 51.5 rushing yards as the second best play of the day. Let's take a look at the graphic for the NFL. Lions minus 3.5. I think they blow out the Seahawks. Jameson Williams, over 43.5 receiving yards against Seattle. And then Tony Pollard, over 51.5 rushing yards against the Dolphins. As it's going to do it for the NFL plays and props for Monday, September 30th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.